if something feels really solid to me, it's like a good top line, and like then I can hear the bass and drums like right away, and that to me means like this is a really good idea.
Well, yeah, thanks for joining me for these three questions. This is Sara McDonald, who is a great composer, vocalist, French horn player, guitarist now.
Just starting, yes.
Yeah.
Here it is.
There, yeah. Oh,
all I'm doing.
Place. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, that wasn't.
Yeah, so we'll start with the first question, which is why do you have music in your life?
Oh, well, it wasn't a choice.
Okay.
My parents were both classical musicians. So basically just like starting in utero to now, that's just all I've been doing. But my mom was like really, in a positive way, very pushy from the get-go. You know, she got me into musicals at a really young age. I started playing piano when I was like 4 or 5. And I took that very seriously up until middle school when I got into French horn, but I was in like a lot of piano competitions, stuff like that. I used to be really good, I guess. I don't know what happened. And then I started playing French horn very seriously all through high school, and I continued to do musical theater at the same time. I've been in like 50 musicals or something ridiculous, which I realize is probably nothing compared to most theater kids. But and then in high school I auditioned for jazz band, and I remember my parents were like, why?
Oh, right.
Yeah, like, oh, okay. And the rest was history. Yeah.
Okay. So when you said you took it seriously, was that because you just it was around the house and you just thought you had to, or
right? Well, it definitely wasn't. I didn't have the option. My mom was my piano teacher and my French horn teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So, I mean, I had to practice like an hour every day, and, you know, she has perfect pitch and can shout obscenities at me from any corner of the house. So, yeah, I just kind of like got in and did that nonstop. And by taking it seriously, I mean, just being thrust into a bunch of different competitions and things like that. You know, that was the primary focus.
Did you ever at any stage sort of look for something else, or like the interest in music stopped at any stage in your kind of growing up?
Kind of.
Because a lot of teenagers sort of, I know teenage years, you're sort of like, oh, stop making me do this.
Right. I mean, I think I definitely always rebelled against it to some extent. Like I liked it when I was good at it, but, you know, practicing and learning new things was always super frustrating and annoying, as it still is.
Yeah, it never changes.
Like I hate learning new things. Anyway, so that's not true. But yeah, I think my senior year of high school, I got pretty burnt out. I was like in 3 musicals at once with like 3 leading roles, and I was the singer of the jazz band. I was playing French horn and orchestra and band and marching band, and I just remember I didn't have a very encouraging band director. Well, there were 2 band directors, and it was, I don't know how much of this you're going to use, but anyway, he hired his wife, and she was a French horn player, and there was like some competition or something. Okay. And
politics ruins everything, right?
Yeah, and it got really weird. She had like her favorite student, and I was like the only horn player that didn't study with her because I studied with my mom. And then what happened? Oh, we have this thing called solo and ensemble, like in the Midwest. And so like you go and like you basically just get rated. I think it's like 1 is the best and then 3 is the worst, but you can go like play with the chamber group, or you can go and just play like some solo excerpt, whatever. Okay. And so they have like a brass room, a woodwind room, like a vocal room, piano, all that stuff. And I won like brass best of the day, and like her star student didn't get it.
Ooh, controversial.
Ooh, I know. Yeah. So then she like called them and was like, you need to like retally these votes. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know how they judge this kind of thing. Yeah. And like wanted them to revoke it from me and like give it to her. And I found out about it. It was super weird because the woman like called my mom and was like, just to let you know.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, this is so weird. I know this is like such a weird thing. So I think after that I was like, I'm super tired of this. Like, you know, I'm going to go like be an English major. So I went and did that for a year. And then I was like, this is a huge mistake. I'm going to go to jazz school. And that was it. So I kind of took a year off and just obviously needed to like reprioritize and see what was really important to me. And I, you know, just couldn't leave music. There was no way.
Yeah. Well, it is nice to kind of step away for a little while and realize that, it is the best option for sure.
Totally. Was that too dramatic to share? Oh my God. I feel like it's
no, it was good. That was great. It was very, the drama, the story, was very exciting. I didn't know where it was going to go. It's like the Tiger King. What's going to happen?
Right. Yeah. Oh my, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't.
Okay. Okay. You need to see it. Yeah.
I'm way behind. I'm still watching Ozark. Anyway.
The second question. So how do you make music?
Wow. So many different ways, but then also like just the same way every single time. I don't know. So basically my phone is just filled with like trillions of really neurotic voice memos, like me just singing ideas. Like usually I'll wake up in the middle of the night and like I'll have been hearing something. And so I'll like run to my bathroom and record it into my phone. And then sometimes it's like, you know, if I just don't want to get out of bed or whatever it is, if I'm in the middle of something or if I'm around people, it's like, I kind of test myself. I'm like, how good is this idea? Am I going to remember it in 30 minutes? And so it's like a risk, you know, to like lose the idea.
Yeah.
Which is just like me playing chicken with myself. But then usually that's what it is. So like I'll record a bunch of ideas, and usually if something is really good right away, I'll sit down at the piano and try to start composing some things. And once I feel like I have a good foundation for a song, I'll come to finale and start writing it out. And then usually after that, I'll start to hear the other sections. But I do try to pace myself. There have been times, like, it's rare that I'll write a whole song in one sitting, and I do that from time to time, but I can definitely tell when I go back and look at arrangements, like there are areas that are just kind of lacking. Like if I had spent more time with it, you know, maybe I would have developed an idea better. So I'll try to like write really consistently for like 2 days, take a day off, and then go back and do it again. Even if I don't want to, it's like good to put yourself into that.
Yeah.
That, I think.
So when you say, when you're at the piano and you have a solid idea, what constitutes a solid idea for you?
Like a good hook, usually, like a thing that's catchy that I remember. I don't like to really run with ideas that I'm not singing to myself later on. And especially ideas, like there are definitely ideas that I have that I feel like are catchy, but they don't really serve themselves for a large ensemble. And like most of the time I'm just focusing on writing for big band. So, you know, not that I'll like ignore them completely. I just kind of put them to the side and see how I can use them later. But yeah, something that's good, you know, an interesting chord progression, like a really interesting groove that I haven't used before, things like that. You know, so usually it's like, if something feels really solid to me, it's like a good top line, and like then I can hear the bass and drums like right away, and that to me means like this is a really good idea. I should definitely run with it. It's like, and then everything kind of sinks in. It's like then I'll hear all the horn lines come after it.
Right. Yeah. And so you use finale instead of
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
No Sibelius.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. Won't hold it against you.
Do you use Sibelius?
Yeah. It's just what I've started. I've tried to use finale before, and I couldn't even get a note on the page.
It's it's a steeper learning curve, I think. But then once you can do it, it's like you can do everything.
Yeah. Okay.
I think personally, personal preference.
Yeah. That's fine. So third question is what excites you musically right now?
Ooh, I heard a really good Radiohead song that I hadn't heard that was like a reject from The King of Limbs. It's in the first episode of Ozark, and I was like, this is Radiohead. Why don't I know what this is? Also, the new Nine Inch Nails albums are really good. The ones that Trent just put out. I'm not really listening to any jazz.
No,
It's like,
that's totally fine.
yeah, just a lot of like ambient music, I would say, just because of the time that we're in, maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say, does that sort of feel the
Yeah,
physical and time and space nicely?
totally. Yeah, I think, especially I think even when I get like really kind of not bummed out, but just like weird things are happening, music is not the first thing that I turn to. Like I don't really want to, like I don't, it's like I don't want anything. I don't want to watch TV. I don't want to read books. I don't want to listen to music. So in the beginning of all of this, that's kind of how it felt, even though we always have like music playing in the house. But then I remember like Trent released all that stuff after this happened. He was like, we just, burned the midnight oil and put these next two albums out. They're called, the first one was Ghosts. And then this is, I can't actually remember the name of these volumes, but it was like the follow up to that. And then it was like, oh, this is so fitting for this time, this like dark ambient, but sort of uplifting in the same way kind of music. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really good right now. I should have thought about this one more. I apologize. Anyway, yeah, so Radiohead, I was like playing some Radiohead on the guitar and I was like, I miss all these songs. They're so good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Thank you for your time and answering those 3 questions.
No problem.
I'll get some information from you about where people can check out your music and put them below.
For sure. We have a live video coming out, a quarantine video.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, send me the info and I'll share it.
For sure. Will do.
Cool.